And with those plunging temperatures already starting to hit, we will be keeping a close eye on our power grid. ERCOT is already warning us about an expected record increase in demand, but grid officials still expect they will have enough energy to keep the lights on in the coming few hours. Just ahead, we're joined now by University of Houston Energy Fellow and Power Grid expert Ed Hers. Good morning, Ed. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Are you there, Ed?
Good morning, Brad. How are you?
There you are. Let's start with the most important question. Your opinion. Your opinion, sir. Will the grid hold up next week?
Well, I think it's less likely given Rudy's forecast. The freezing precipitation will take the wind turbines offline because of icing. There is not enough coal, natural gas, nuclear, and batteries, if only for 4 hours, to meet the demand that ERCOT is forecasting. Solar may be handicapped a bit if there's any ice or snow covering the panels, but for sure, we know it doesn't work at night. So I think there's a very high likelihood of rolling blackouts. ERCOT itself forecast a higher likelihood of rolling blackouts than it did going into 2021.
Okay, now if you go to the ERCOT dashboard, which you and I both do frequently, they show that little supply line up in the 100 megawatt range, 100,000 megawatt range. That tells me they're confident that the lights will stay on.
Well, they were confident that the lights would stay on in 21 as well. And what we wound up with were a bunch of plants failing because of a lack of weatherization. Now, everybody says they've made progress in weatherization, not only of the power plants, but of the natural gas grid. But still, if we add everything up that we can turn on, that's not enough to cover the demand that's forecast to happen with those terribly low temperatures. And any upsets in sun and wind, we'll have blackouts.
Okay, well, I hear you saying things don't look good for next week. And let me add to that the pontification that we will hit a new record high for demand of nearly 84,000 megawatts. That number just keeps going up and up and up like we've never seen before, right?
Well, that's even higher than we had for summer demand. And keep in mind, it's not just the natural hazard, it's the moral hazard. All of the power generating plants know that if 4 or 5 of them go offline, the price across the grid will jump from $50 a megawatt hour to $5,000 a megawatt hour. That's what ERCOT has been paying people and has done so really since May. That's why the independent market monitor pointed out that the consumer side of the market had been overcharged $12.5 billion through November. So the game is set for power plants to go offline.
So you and I have been discussing, sources of mine have said that they've stopped or curtailed taking their natural gas. These are producers out in the field in West Texas that are saying, we got gas to give, and they're not taking it. What do you think is going on there, if that's true?
Well, if that is true, then that matches up with the allegations in a huge lawsuit that's pending in Houston. 4,000 plaintiffs have joined against the natural gas midstream companies, the marketers, and the deliverers from 2021 because the price of natural gas jumped in some areas from $3.50 per thousand cubic feet up to $1,200 per thousand cubic feet. The state attorney general did nothing about this price gouging, which, of course, he's the only one empowered to do. This is kind of challenging. If Buc-ee's had shut down a few pumps and raised the price of gasoline from $3.50 a gallon to $1,200 a gallon, that would be the equivalent. And, of course, somebody would have sued them.
Okay, Ed, I hear we're done with you now. Thank you very much for being on with us this morning, and we'll be keeping an eye and hope that you're wrong, sir. I hate to say it, but I hope you're wrong. Ed Hers, thanks so much for joining us.
So do I.
Thank you, Brett and Ed. Now, we do have to take a quick break, but we are going to leave you with a look at your local forecast and be back with more Texas headlines for you.